So we are starting by
Good evening, boss.
we are starting by 10 minutes after 8. So we have 14 people active right now. So for this class, you guys are going to be needing your mobile phone, smartphone, or laptop. Any of them can serve. So I hope you guys watched the videos in your dashboard. If you watch the video in your dashboard, please comment on the chats. Is God watched his video? Okay. Nora, why didn't you watch your videos? What happened? Are you having issues with your dashboard or what?
Sir, what did you say?
I said if you watched the video in your dashboard, comment on the chat box.
Okay, let me go and watch the video, sir.
Maybe after the class you can. The videos are meant to guide you on what you're going to do in class. So you're meant to watch the videos before each class. But since you haven't watched
Okay,
the
sir.
video,
Okay.
you just have to follow through.
Okay, boss. I will do it now.
Nora, what was the problem? Did you contact someone for that?
Mr. Hiller, I'm on it now, trying to rectify it.
Okay.
Mm. Nora, check your WhatsApp, okay?
So
Please call your group members so they can join. Group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. We just have only about 7 persons out of 30. We have like 28 persons that signed up for the program. I don't know why. Start your group members, please. Start on your group WhatsApp group and call them in. Mr. Hiller, you can go ahead.
okay. From our course outline, we have the first topic is introduction to Canva and graphic design. The second item is navigating the Canva interface and the tools. So that's what we're going to do for today's class. First of all, I'm going to introduce the platform to you guys. Then we can kick off by going through the interface. Then after that, we're going to do one or two practicals so that you guys can get familiarized with the platform. So for this class, I'm going to define Canva. So Canva is an online graphic tool, graphic design platform that is used by users to create wide variety of visual contents using simple drag and drop features. So Canva is a platform used for designing graphic design. So let me paste the full definition on the chat so you can make your notes. So to make your notes, you can simply copy from the chat and paste on your notes so that at the end of each class you can have something to study. So going forward, first of all, if you are using a mobile phone, you have to download the app, that's Canva app. I think by now you guys should have the app installed on your phone. But if you're using a laptop, just simply navigate to Ruth, you can go ahead to write to make your own notes. So if you're using your phone, download Canva app. Or if you're using your laptop, depending on the laptop, you can still download the app or you visit www.canva.com. So once you visit www.canva.com, you are going to land on this platform. So everybody, I believe everybody knows how to create an account by now. You can go ahead to click, if you haven't created an account yet, go ahead to click create an account. Please mute your mic so that
Okay, where are you joining from? Can you introduce ourselves in the chat so that then we get to know us? Right, just quickly, your name and where you are joining from. Your sister or brother might be right here on the
Marcus, I
chat
can meet
or on
everybody.
the
Just
call.
Marcus, I can meet everybody. Just meet all.
All right, Enugu, welcome. Nelson, I miss Enugu so much. I'll read Enugu very soon. I miss Enugu.
okay. So if you have created a Canva account, please kindly comment on the chat so that I know how many people are following. So to create an account, you can just simply click create account, then you log in using you can decide to use your Google account to create an account, or you can use another email to create an account. So if you are done with creating an account, kindly comment on the chat so that you can continue. This is 10 minutes after 8, so we are starting properly right now. If your colleagues are not in the class, kindly maybe send them a message to invite them over to the class so that that's your team members. Because at the end of this program, majority of the assignments you guys should be doing are going to be group assignments, group projects. So if they're not in class, that means people are going to encounter issues during the projects. So make sure your group members are active, and before each class, just make sure to maybe send a message to the group or invite them to the class, remind them about the classes so that your group won't be left hanging. So if you are done with creating an account, kindly let me know on the chat so that we can continue. Sylvia said she's already created an account. Ruth also created an account. I don't know why you guys are not active. Okay, so majority have created an account. So let's proceed. So once you are done creating an account, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to log into the account. If you log into the account, you should have something like this interface over here. Hope you guys are seeing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once you log into Canva, you're going to see this interface. First of all, I will start by introducing the interface to you. So first of all, this button at the top left side is the same thing for the mobile app. So if you're using your phone, it's the same thing basically. So first of all, we have menu, the menu that's open and close menu at the top side. We have the create button. This is used to create a new project. That's if you're starting a new design. So you use this create button. Then home tab is this place. This place is the home page. Projects. This is where you see your previous works. That's what you have done before. You see it under projects. Then templates. That's if you want to create a design, but you don't want to create a design from scratch, you can use templates to create designs. So let's leave others for now. Let's focus on these ones. So first of all, creating a design. If you want to create a design, you're going to ask yourself basic questions like, who am I creating this design for? What platform is the person posting the design? So let's assume you're working for someone in a company and let's say you're a social media admin or something. So you are meant to create designs and post on the social media pages of the company. So you have to know that the design you are creating is going to be square shaped. That's, let's say, 4 by 4. Like, it's going to be perfect square because social media posts a perfect square. So you first of all, once you click create, once you click the create button, you're going to show you this menu. This menu has different style, different designs. That's different layouts for each design. So first of all, we have email. So if you are creating an email template for someone, you're going to click email. If you are creating a logo for someone, you're going to select logo. If you are creating an Instagram post, you see Instagram post over here. Flyer, you see flyer over here. But if you don't see any of those things you want to create, you can go ahead to search what you want to create. So let's assume you are creating a letter or a presentation. You can go ahead to search what you are creating on the search box. Once you type it, they're going to show you different layouts. So you now choose depending on the size of the paper you're going to print on, or the platform you're posting it, and so on and so forth. So for this class, let's go ahead to just click, instead of selecting an interface, we're going to click whiteboard. Whiteboard is an open board, like you don't have any interface. Whiteboard is just a plain sheet of let's say a plain sheet of paper, just like your whiteboard in class in school. So instead of selecting a particular layout, that's either social media posts or A4 size or letter size, let's go ahead to select whiteboard so that you're going to have free space to try out some new things. So I'm going to select whiteboard. So once I select whiteboard, it's going to display the whiteboard for me. So this is basically the whiteboard. As you can see, it's a full white sheet for designing. But if I selected, let's say I select social media posts. Let me show you the difference between selecting whiteboard and selecting a particular layout. Let's say I select social media layouts. This is 1080 by 1080 px. That's the size. If I select social media posts, it's not going to display a full whiteboard. It's not going to display full sheet. It's going to display a particular size of, as you can see, it's perfect square. That's for social media posts. It's perfect square, just like this. But if I select whiteboard, it's going to give me a free layout. It's going to be an empty space. That's the whole screen is going to be white like this. So the idea of this whiteboard is just to make you understand what you're designing, just for practice. But once you're done with the basics, you can easily choose a layout and then design with the layout. But for this class, I'm going to be using this whiteboard so that you guys can understand what I'm showing you guys. So if you are following me so far, please comment on the chat so that we'll know what we are doing. We can carry everybody along. Or you can just give a thumbs up like Emmanuel is in. Okay, so now this is the whiteboard. This is called the whiteboard. And in the whiteboard, we have different elements. We have different buttons on the whiteboard. This display is the same thing for the mobile view, like I said. And for Canva, you don't use Control S to save. You just design. It saves automatically. So even if your network disconnects or your phone trips off or anything that happens, the design is going to start from where it stopped. So you don't need to you don't need to start tapping Control S to save your design. So it saves automatically. So here in the whiteboard, we have the menu. Anytime you see this line, these three lines is the menu tab on any platform. So once you see this thing, just know that it's menu. So like I said before, open and close menu again. Then the difference now is you have those buttons over here, the ones I showed you in the previous page. Then we also have these ones. Now on the whiteboard, these ones are important. All these ones are very, very important. Starting from design, ranging from elements, text, and so on and so forth. So, but first of all, let's deal with this menu bar first. If you're using a mobile phone, sometimes the menu bar can be at the left hand side or the down part of the phone. So anytime you're using a mobile phone, just make sure that you pay attention. The buttons are the same thing, but the arrangement might differ. So now, first of all, file. The file button is used for creating new designs, uploading files. That's if you want to upload pictures you want to use for the design, or upload videos you want to use, or anything. So you use you can click on file, you can click on upload file. Settings has to do with if you want the whiteboard to have dotted lines or dots, like you can see the whiteboard is not showing dots anymore. You don't have dots. But if I want it to have dots, I can just select dots that show dots grid over here. I'll select show dots grid. You can just raise your hand so that I know that something is wrong. Because I'm not in the chat box right now. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please indicate. Someone said
I
your
can hear
network
you.
is breaking.
Hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So anytime something happens, just maybe raise your hand or something so that we know that something is wrong. So back to what I was saying. The file menu, we have settings. This place is for comment. You can comment on the let's assume you are working with a team. You can use the same account for the team, and everybody can be working together in the same whiteboard. So when you design, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Because
I
someone
can see
said
it now. I can see it
someone
now.
said
Don't worry.
okay. So said it's very small. Are you using a mobile device, Mesoma? If you're using a mobile device, just change the layout of the or make the phone landscape or something so that it can be a little big. You're using a laptop. Okay, let me increase the font size so that let me just go ahead to increase the. Is it better now? I think it's better now. Roots, we're going to try to do the introduction to the platform, then maybe we're going to start from the basics so that everybody can understand what we are doing. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Once you click on the file, you're going to see settings. Under the settings, if you're working with a team, let's assume you guys are working with the same accounts, because you can use the same account for multiple individuals. So once you're designing something, you can comment on the design. Like if you're designing something, you can add comments so that your teammates can know that maybe you write something like "don't touch" or "change," so that if the person logs in, the person can know that you ask them to edit that particular section of the design. So that's what comments are used for. Um, accessibility. This menu, I don't think you guys can understand the menu right now. So we're going to talk about later in the future when we start using the platform properly. So like I said earlier, save. There's no need of clicking save. It saves automatically. You understand? There's no need of saving the using control S to save when you are designing. So any place you stop, it's going to save automatically. That's why the routes all changes save. It saves automatically because the platform, the designs are saved in the cloud. Like everything works online. So make a copy. That means if you are designing, let's say I'm designing the logo in this whiteboard, and I want to move the design to another page, but I don't want to. I just want to duplicate the design so that I can edit the other one while leaving the other one original. I can use make a copy. I can use this make a copy to do it. Download is used for exporting the design. That's if you want to download the design. Move to trash. That's if you want to. Now, that means that if you're designing a flyer, and at some point you be like, okay, let me convert this flyer. I know flyers are like the size of A4 paper, normal A4 paper. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you guys, I don't know
Yes,
why
sir.
some people are saying they people are hearing me because I know my speaker is okay. So at some point, if you're designing A4 is like normal printing paper now, white paper, and you want to change the size of the design you are making to something like normal for Instagram posts, that's square. A4 paper is like rectangle. So you can use resize to just change the size of the layout. Like you can change the size of the layout. As you can see, this one is Instagram post, Instagram story. This one is Instagram post. This one is Facebook post. Then if you scroll a little bit, we have custom sizes. Ibenaka, do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
What's the problem?
Sir, sorry. Good evening.
Good
Sir,
evening.
as you're trying to do, I went to check my Canva and like I wanted to work as you're working with it too, but mine is quite different.
Is it like did you download recently?
Yeah, I downloaded it on Saturday, and since then I've been trying to work. Like when I was watching the videos on the dashboard and I was trying to work, it was not actually giving me the same thing. And also when we are trying to show something with that home, like where we can go menu and home, get back and come, it's not also doing on my own Canva page.
Are you using a laptop or a phone?
No, I'm using an Android phone.
Okay, like I said, the menu, your own menu is going to be different. You're going to have this menu, but some of these buttons over here are going to be at the down parts, at the down side. Do you understand? So the layout is going to change, but all these buttons exist on your Android. Maybe after I will do a screen record to explain I will send the video, a screen record video to show you the menu also. I'll just have to do that video on mobile device so that you guys can
So
follow up.
it's on the down part of the Canva, it's just showing your design templates, um so forth and so forth. It's not actually showing this file, resize, editing.
If you're not seeing this file on your mobile device, I think just click on you should have something like this. No, most things inside this file are also available. Like for example, this download. If you click on this share at the top of the page, also it's going to show you download. Do you understand? So most of those things inside that file exist in other menus. So you should. I'm going to make a video using Android or so that you see the layouts. I'll explain the layouts using that video.
Okay,
So
sir, thank you.
all right. So if you are resizing, like I say, if you are resizing, if you want to change from A4, that's letter size, to Instagram story, you can just use resize. That's if you're using a paid account. Is very, very affordable. Um, this menu here also for commenting, like I explained before. So they're just repeating most of those things inside the file in other pages. Now we have two arrows here. We have two arrows here. The first arrow is undo, that's Control Z. You can use Control Z But if you're using a mobile device, you can just click on this one to undo. That's undo means, let's assume I add a picture here, and I add another picture at the top, and I want to remove this one. I don't like, instead of using delete, let's say I want to remove this one, I can just undo the, can you see, I just undo the movement. Then the second arrow over here is redo. Redo means if you deleted something by mistake, you want to add it, you want to, like if you undo something and you want to redo it, you can just add it again. So that's what these two arrows are for, undo and redo. Then this one over here says all changes saved. That means everything is saving automatically as you are designing, like I said earlier in the class. Then at the top of this place, we have the file name. By default, it's showing untitled design, whiteboard. That means the file doesn't have a name. So you can just add your name, add the name of the design over here. That's if you want to add the name of the design over here. And then we have the share. The share button is used for exporting. That's if you want to download, if you want to share directly to social media, you can use this share button. Now we're done with this menu. We're going to come over to this place. So we have a whiteboard. I selected the whiteboard when I was creating this file. So if you select a whiteboard and you click on this design, what you're going to see inside this place throughout is templates for white, like long template, that's whiteboard templates. But if you selected something like Instagram posts, what you're going to be seeing inside this design is Instagram post designs and templates only. So that's it for design. But these designs are used when you want to customize the template. That's when you don't want to start from scratch. You can just click on the design and pick what you want. You search for what you want, then you start editing it. That's when you have mastered the tools. So now the second button here is elements. Elements contains shapes, graphics, photos, videos, illustrations. So in elements, I can search for, let's say I search for a lady. I'll first of all have graphics of ladies. Let me open graphics. To open graphics, you're going to click see more, see all. See all is under the see all is beside the graphics. So if I click see all these things I'm seeing here are elements under graphics. I searched for lady elements under graphics. So all these things I'm seeing here is lady graphics. But if I want to search for a lady under pictures, once I search for the lady, I will scroll down a little bit. I will see photos. The second one is photos. If I click see more, see all under photos, I'm going to see pictures only of ladies. The same applies for videos. Like the third one is videos. You can click see all under videos, and it's going to show you videos of ladies. You can type anything on this search box. You can decide to type school boys or school uniform, anything you want to type, you can type it in this element, and it's going to show you. They have library of elements, so you can search for anything and you're going to get a very, very good result. So elements are used for shapes. Let me search for shapes. Shapes under, we have shapes, so you can click see all to see shapes, the whole shapes they have. That's, they have every shape you want. Under photos, we have, under graphics, we have shapes also under graphics. All these things come in handy when you're making a design. So it depends on what you're working on. Then after the graphics, we have frames. Now these frames are quite technical. Frames helps you to align what you're doing. Let's assume you want to add a picture, but you don't want the picture to be like square or rectangle. You can use a frame. So now this one is like circle frame. This is circle frame. If I want to add a lady to this frame, a picture of a lady to this frame, what is going to happen is that once I add the lady, as you can see, the picture is rectangle in shape. That's the size of the picture. But if I drag the picture inside the frame, it's going to stay inside the frame. Hope you guys understand this. So frames are used if you don't want the picture to overflow, like you want to have the picture confined into the frame, you just add the frame. We have different types of frame. We have, let's say, mobile. Let's say you search for phone. All those social media posts used to see them add phone to they add phone, and they add pictures of the dashboard into the phone, or picture of anybody into the phone. They have different designs. This one is for social media, this particular one. As you can see, it has a phone layout. So if you drag the woman's picture inside this place, it's going to look as if you can add your username over here. You have the lady's picture inside here. They add comments, just like your typical Instagram display. You understand? So over here we have different types of frames. We have mobile phones, we have laptops, we have normal shapes. So you can decide to use any of those frames during your design. We're going to be using frames when we're designing. So that's it for frames. Now the next thing under the elements, we have abstract and background. That's if you want to add a background to your design, but you don't want to use plain color. Let's say you want to add a blue background, but you want the background to have like texture. You can just decide to use, let's say you search for blue abstract background. You're going to see blue backgrounds, but they're going to have different textures. Having textures means that you're going to see like something. So they are going to have art, as you can see under this photo session of this blue abstract. So if I click on any of them, you see it's blue background, but it has texture. Let me add this one also, so you see. So if you don't want to use a plain blue background, you can decide to use blue abstract background. So you can search for abstract, you can search for background, you can search for arts, illustrations, and so on and so forth. Then if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see sticky notes. I believe you guys know what sticky notes is now. Sticky notes means if you want to jot something down, like I said, if you're working with a team, you can add sticky notes to the designs and be like, please edit this section. Then you now write your teammate's name. Let's say Hillary. You understand? Now, if the teammate logs into the account to work, let's say you guys are working on a combined project, the person is going to see these sticky notes you dropped on the design. The person will now read it. The person will now know that you want him or her to edit that particular session. So that's what you use sticky notes for. That's if you're using a team account or if you're working with a group of people. So we have sticky notes, we have shapes, we have graphics, we have stickers, we have forms. Forms, let's assume you are designing, it's just basically forms, normal forms. Is used for emailing most times. We have 3D images. 3D images are those images that look very real. They don't look like 2D images. As you can see, it's 3D image. So they have 3D also. You can use 3D for your designs. It's all depends on what you are designing and what you are trying to achieve. Now, if you're working for a company and you are meant to present your result, let's say you do data analysis, Microsoft Excel, and so on and so forth, and you are meant to present your results in a presentation, like when you are designing a presentation in Canva, you can decide to use tables in Canva. Then when you're presenting, you can just display the tables. We have photos, we have videos, we have sheets, charts. Okay, like I said, we have charts. For those of you that don't understand what I mean by charts, these are charts. And the charts, some of the charts are, you can animate the charts. Now, if you're presenting in school or at work, you can animate these charts. As you can see, the thing is moving. You can animate it. Once you add your data, and if you're using it for presentation, if you display it, it's going to be outstanding, because your colleagues are not going to display a chart in an animated form. So if you display a chart in an animated form, that means you have a higher presentation mark than those ones. Then we also have multi-line charts. We have multi-line charts. We have single line charts. Okay. So this is like multi-line chart. We have 3 lines, different colors. You can decide to change each color of as you can see at the top side, we have different colors of the chart. So you can decide to change the colors of the chart. We have also pie charts. Like I said before, you used to animate. So you can display your data and animate it so that you have a perfect design. So if you are, depending on what you're working on, you can use all these tools. Now, after elements contains all these things I just mentioned. After elements, under element, you have tests. Just like normal tests, the test we have, under the test, we have text box. Text box means you are writing inside a box, just like this. Text box is the fonts are small. Then we have add a heading. Adding a heading means you want to add a bold heading, like a large text like this. You add a heading. It's very, very big. Is the font size is like 40 something. Then subheading is also bold, but it's a little bit smaller than a heading. Then we have little body text. These ones are the smallest size, but you can resize the 3 of them. It's just if you want to just write something fast without stressing yourself with changing the sizes and the fonts, you just go ahead to click these ones. So the next thing I'm going to be showing you guys, if you scroll down a little bit, you see this kind of font combination. Font combination is going to show you matching fonts. That's fonts that go together. No, different fonts go together. Like if you look at this one now, the two write-ups go together. Text stack, the 2 fonts go together. This one particular, this one also, they go together. Big strategy. So we have matching fonts. If you scroll down, you see matching fonts. There are fonts that if you are using the 2 of them together, they are going to look good no matter what. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So under tests, we have add a heading, add a subheading, add a little bit of body text, that's the small ones. Then we have matching font combinations, that's this one's under. These matching font combinations are used mostly for logo designs and stuff like that. As you can see, the fonts are matching. So it's used mostly for logo designs and so on and so forth. So that's it for tests. Now, besides the test, we have brand. This brand is used for, let's assume you are working with a company, you have particular color you guys are working with. You add the brand color, you add the fonts, you add everything over here. Then if you are designing the stuff, you know that everything you are using for the design is mainly based on the specification of the company you are designing for. That's what you use brand for. Now, uploads. Under uploads, you are going to import, you can easily import the pictures you want to use for the design under uploads, the videos you want to use, anything you want to use that you downloaded from somewhere else. Let's assume you are designing a church flyer for your church. The pictures of the pastor, the pictures you're going to use for design, you're going to import everything here. Just click on uploads, you click on upload files, and then import the pictures. You can also record a video directly from here. That's if you want to record a video directly. Then that's it for the upload. If you want to use folders to arrange your work, you click on this folder over here. This folder, you create a folder. All these things are majorly used if you are designing if you are working as a professional. If you are working as a professional or you're working with a team, you don't want the job to be scattered. So you create a folder here. You create a folder. As you can see, you have the folder name. You write a folder name. You can decide to share it to your teammates. These settings you are seeing not shared. You can set it to can edit. That's your teammates can edit it. You can also set it to can view. They can only view, but they cannot edit it. So if you want them to be able to edit it, you can select can edit. If you want them to just view it without editing, you select can view. But if you don't want them to see it at all, you now select not shared. That's how you create folder. So if you create the folder, you can add the pictures and everything you want to use for the design on the folder. So scrolling down, you have tools. Tools are just like pen tool, draw tool, shapes, line tool, sticky note. These things are used majorly if you're working with companies. Draw tool is just like freehand tool. Let's say you want to just draw something. If you're using a light pen, maybe you want to add a signature or something, you can easily use the draw tool. This particular one is select. So if you select a draw tool, for example, once you're done drawing the stuff you want to draw, you now drop it. This select tool is used for dropping the tool. That's when you're done. Now we have shapes, just like the other one I showed you. We have shapes. Under these tools also we have shapes. We have lines. You can click on line. You select a straight line. But if you don't want to select, if the line are not straight, you can also select something that is not straight, and then you can customize it. So it depends on what you are working on. That's when you use these tools. Like I said before, sticky notes, you can add notes for your teammates, and then when they come online, they can see the instruction you gave to them pertaining the design you guys are working on. Now we have tests, just like I explained before, and we have tables. So these tools over here are just simple basic tools used for designing. Then after the tools, we have projects. Projects are the works you have done before. So if you scroll down, you can see your previous work, previous jobs, your folders, the templates you saved, and so on and so forth. So now we're done with the menu, this menu bar. We're going to start properly by adding shapes so that I can show you guys the other technical tools we're going to be using for this course. Now let's go ahead to click elements. If you click on elements, you're going to add, let me search for shape. I'll search for shape. Then I'm going to add this shape let me use red color so that everybody can see it clearly. Now, looking at this shape, the shape has, if you can look clearly, you see that it has a rounded corner, like the corners are rounded. If you guys see the rounded corner, comment on the chat or use a thumbs up. If you are seeing the rounded corner, that's not, the corners are rounded, they are curved. Okay, so the corners are curved. But if you don't want to use rounded corners, you can simply change it at the top. So once you click on any item, like if you click on this item, another menu will display over here. This menu is the main menu you're going to be needing for the design itself. So if you hover at the top, it shows you the name of the tool. So you don't need to stress yourself. Just hover, bring your cursor to the menu. It's going to show you, like if I hover here, they will write color. If I hover here, they will write stroke style. Stroke style is like border style. If I hover here, they will say corner rounding. Corner rounding is what I just showed you. This place is corner. The edges are curved. So if I want to remove the corner rounding, I'll click on corner rounding. Then as you can see, it's 15. Now, if I increase the corner rounding to, let's say 80, it's going to be, are you seeing the difference? It's going to be more curved. The corners are more pronounced. Now, if I don't want to use any corner rounding, I just click on corner rounding and I will set it to 0. If I set it to 0, that means it's not going to be curved at all. That's how to use corner rounding. Now let's start from the beginning. The first menu here. The first menu here is colors. Okay, Hakim, do you have a question? Do you have a question, Hakim? You raise your hand. Okay, let's continue. So if you have an item inside the whiteboard, now we have colors. The first one is colors. If you click on the colors, if you click on color, they're going to show you different colors. If you scroll down, you see more colors. We have normal colors, solid colors, and we have gradients. Solid colors are just normal colors, primary colors, secondary colors. Now gradients, if you scroll down a little bit, gradients are mixtures of two or more colors. So basically like 2 to 3 colors. So let me select one gradient so you understand. So gradients are like, you see this one has purple and yellow. It's blended together. That's gradient color. This one has blue and black blended together. While this one has orange and light red, something like that, blended together. So that's gradient color for you. We have gradient colors and we have solid colors. Now, if you don't want to use any color, this is no color. This place they wrote no color. You can click it. You won't see any color on the item again. Let me show you where I normally use no colors. So if you are using no colors, but you want to use the rectangle you added, but you are using no colors, that means you are trying to add a border to the design. So you add a border to the design. That means the center of the design doesn't have colors, but it has a border, just to show you that you selected square. That's where you normally use no colors most times. That's if you are designing and you want something to have a border line, but you don't want it to have a color inside. That's where you use no colors. You understand? Now, if you don't see any color you like here, if for example you don't see any color you like, and you want to look for your own color, you want to browse your own color, you are going to click on this place, this plus sign over here. They wrote it add a new color. Add a new color. You click on the plus sign. Then you can scroll down a little bit. You can decide to move this thing around to check if you can see the color you are looking for. Do you understand? You're going to move this thing around to look for color you're looking for. Then if you don't see the color you're looking for, you can go ahead to browse the color. It's called hex code. Let me write it on the chat. It's called hex code or color code. If you browse color code, let's say you browse gold color code on Google, it's going to show you different codes. There's this number over here. This number you are seeing at these damn parts is the hex code. Now, the hex code, you can get the hex code of any color you want from Google, and then you paste it here. Yes, you can edit the elements roots. So let's assume we have the hex code for black color is 000. The hex code for black color is 000 because 000, that means there's no color. So let's go ahead to add 000. As you can see, it's already showing black. Now the hex code for white color is FFF. That's F colors. That's white colors is FFF. That's the hex code. So if I type FFF here, it's going to be white color. Do you understand? So this hex code, you can go ahead to browse any color you want. Browse the hex code of any color you want. Once you type the code here, it's going to add the color for you automatically. In this course, I'm going to show you how to browse hex code. I'm going to show you how to remove background from images. That's if you're not using Canva Pro, you cannot remove backgrounds easily. So I'm going to show alternatives on how to do that also. So that's it for colors. So like I said, we have solid colors, we have gradients, and then we have a color picker. Now, another thing I want to show you is, let me add another element. I want to show you how to use the pick tool. There's something called the color pick tool. Let me add another square over here. Now this color, this particular shape, I added a red color. This one has red color. Why this one has blue and black? Now, if I want to change this blue and black, let's assume maybe I have a logo inside this place, and the logo has red color. You understand? And I want this whole design to have that same color as the logo. Once I click on color, I click on this plus sign. Instead of me to start looking for Hakim, of course, yeah. So instead of you to start looking for the color, red color, the particular red color here, and start stressing yourself, what you're going to do is you're going to click here, pick a color. This place, beside this place you used to paste hex code, you're going to pick a color here. This pick tool is looking like pen, as you can see it. Once you click on the pick tool, you go ahead to search for the color. So let's assume I want to pick color from top of this place. I can go ahead to pick any color from anywhere on this page. Now I'm going to go ahead to pick a red color from the page itself. And once I pick the color, it's going to show. So instead of me to start searching, if I want to pick any color from inside the design, I can just go ahead to pick the colors I want. So that's how to use the pick tool. So we're done with the color aspects. The next thing I'm going to show you is, beside the color that's this place, we have stroke color. Stroke color is okay, if you want to increase the size of the shape, you just need to use as if you click on the page, the shape, you see the edges. There are things on the edges like this. So you can just drag from the edges. You can drag from the side or from the top to increase the size or to decrease the size of the shapes. So back to what I was saying. Okay, so the border, like I said, let me add black color. Let me add red color so you see the border. The border is black. The border is, you have black border. So if I want to change the border or remove the border, I'm just going to select stroke style. This stroke style just means border style. We now select stroke style. Now we have this one. First one is no border at all. This one means no border. This one means line border. This one means line border. Then the next one is dotted line, but it's bigger. Let me show you. Is dotted line, but it's bigger. Let me zoom my screen more. I don't know why your own display is very difficult. Okay, so this one is dotted line, but it's big. Now another one available is dotted line again, but these ones are smaller. Then the last one are very small. Another dotted line, but very small. So you can decide to add any border type you want. Now for the stroke weight, that's the border weight. It determines the size of the border. You can decide to make the border be bold from this stroke weight. You can just decide to change the numbers. You can drag from here. You can drag from this bar, or you change the number to whatever you want. You can add any number you want to add a border. So that's it for now. Once you add a border to a particular shape, this one will now appear. This stroke color, that's border color, will now appear. Once you add it, they're going to ask you to select the color you want. This stroke color will now appear. Now I can decide to choose any color I want for the border using this stroke color. That's what this one is used for. Then, like I told you guys earlier in the class, this one over here is rounded corner. That's when you want to curve the edges of the shape you added. That's, as you can see, the edges are curved. That's when you use that corner rounding. Now that's it for the shapes. Let me move this aside a little bit. Now, as you can see here, we have the fonts. This particular font by default is called Canva Sans. Is the default font. Then the next one is the font size. Now let me go ahead to add a text. I'll go ahead to add a text. If I add a text to this design, let me zoom it so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, once I add a text to this design, the font is going to have by default is Canva Sans, this particular font. Now, changing this font, you can use any font you want. If you're typing a letter, you can use Times New Roman. You can use any font. You just have to click on Canva Sans, that's this place. Once you click on it, you're raising your hand.
Yes, someone commented that they can't increase the shape, their own shape, like on the chart. So they said, I'm trying to increase the size of my shape, but I can't.
I've already
find it hard
showed
to see
him
your
how
person
to do
moving,
it.
like 2%. Okay.
So
sorry.
if you want to change the fonts of your write-up, you can just decide to just click on this place. Remember, if you're looking for any tool, just hover over it's going to show you the name, so you know what you're selecting. So you click on fonts. They have thousands of fonts, so it's not a problem. You can design anything you want. Let me go ahead to select another font. This one is called Montserrat font. So you can go ahead to change your font. Now this size font type is now Montserrat. Now beside it, you have font size. That's the size of the text. You can decide to click plus to increase it, click minus to decrease it, or you can decide to just add the number you want here. That's the number of the font you want, the font size. Let me say 20. So that's how you use the font size. You can use plus button, minus button, or you can just add the number you want over here. Now on the text color beside it, just like I told you guys, they can decide to use any color you want for the text. You can just select the color you want. If you are looking for any color, you can just copy the hex code and paste it also. Beside it, we have bold. Everybody knows what to use bold for. So you can click on bold to make it bold. You can click on bold again to make it unbold. So you can just use bold. Beside it, you have italics. Italics, people use italics when they want to bend the write-up. Are you seeing the difference? I think most of you guys know what italics means. You can just bend the write-up using italics. Now, the next one beside it is underline. Underline is just like you want to underline the write-up. You just use underline, this particular one. Then we have strike through. If you want to cancel something, that's if you want to cancel a text. Don't use it for just if you are making a design and you want to be creative, you can just cancel. Let's assume you are making a flyer for a product, and the price of the product is 10,000. That's the old price of the product is 10,000. While the new price of the product is 20,000. Or let's say you're doing a promo from 10K to 5K. What you're going to do, you're going to strike through the first one. As you can see, you strike through the 10,000, then you leave the 5,000 number. That's old price and new price. That's where you use strike through. Do you understand? Now the next thing we have uppercase, lowercase. That's if you are typing, if you're using letters. This is the letter. So we have uppercase, we have lowercase. That's this particular one. As you can see, uppercase. So once you click on, instead of typing everything, you can just click on uppercase, lowercase, just to change it. Now the next thing on the menu, we have, let me type random stuff so you understand this next too. The next one we have alignment. That's test alignment. Test alignment, this particular one is test alignment. As you can see, the test alignment is center. That means everything is going to stand in the center like this. But if I want them to go to the left-hand side, I will just click on alignment. It's going to go to the left-hand side. If I click on it again, it's going to be balanced. I click on it again, it goes to the right-hand side. Then I click on it again, it centers again. So you can change the alignment depending on what you are doing. If you are designing a letter or you want the letters to start from the beginning of the box, you can just align it using this. Now beside it, we have the it's called list. Listing means you want to number what you just wrote. You now click on list. It's going to add dotted lines by default. That's the first one. If you click on it again, it's going to add numbers. That's if you want to number what you're doing. If you click on it again, it's going to restore back to none. That means we have dotted lines for numbering, dotted dots for numbering. We have numbers, and then we have disabled. So that's how you use lists. So basically, everything here, once you hover over it, is easier. It's very, very easy to understand. Then after that, we have the next one, advanced settings. These advanced settings is used when your designs are a little bit complex. You use advanced settings to make your tests to be easy for you. So if you click advanced settings for tests, you're going to have line spacing, and letter spacing. Now, the difference between line spacing and letter spacing is that line spacing is in between the line, that's under the text, while letter spacing is in between the letters. So if I'm increasing line spacing, look at what's going to happen. Letter spacing is going to space the letters. That's if I want it to come together like this, or if I want it to zoom out, that's letter spacing. But line spacing is going to be in between the lines. That's if you want it to have a little bit gap. So that's where you use line spacing and letter spacing. It's very, very easy to understand. Now the next two beside it is transparency. That's whether I want it to be visible enough or not visible enough. That's transparency. You can increase transparency or decrease transparency. The tools are very, very self-explanatory, so you don't have any issues with them. Now, effects, text effects simply means if you want your text to have shadow, if you want it to have shadow, if you want it to have some kind of effect on it. Let me add one effect. I don't know if my text is too big. It's very, very big, so you guys can notice what I'm doing. Okay. So if I add this effect or this one, you see the effect. We have glitter, we have glitch, we have echo. So you can go ahead to play. This one is outline. Outline. I use outline a lot because if you want to make your text to be pronounced, you can use text outline. You can see it has black outline, so it's showing very, very well. So I use outline very well. So on this course, you're going to be experimenting with different effects also. That's what you use effects for. Then the next one, very, very important tool. I think this is the most important tool in Canva. The next one is position. This particular one is the most important tool. Now, let me show you what position means. This shape now, I just made this shape. Let me add another color to this one so that you understand what I'm going to show you now. So you have the first shape. The first shape is red color, orange background, orange border. This one is black color, orange border. Now, as you can see, the black shape is on top of the red shape. So let's assume I place this text, this right up. You see the right up is under this black shape. The right up is under the black shape. Now let's assume I don't want the right up to be under the black, but I want it to be on top of the red. So you just use position, you click on position, you're going to use position to send it to back or to the front. So I'm going to send this right up to the front. That's forward. Forward means it's going to come forward by one layer. Backward means it's going to go back by one layer. If you want it to come to the front of all the elements in your design, you just click to the front. That's to the front of everything. If you want it to go to the back of everything, you click to the back. But if you want it to come forward or backward, one after the other, you click forward, forward, forward till you get what you want. Or you click backward, backward, backward to get what you want. But if you want it to come to the front entirely, to the front, you click front. If you want it to go to hide to the back, you click back. You understand? So that's how to use position. Position is the most important, I think it's the most important tool on each platform when you're designing because it aligns the elements. In Adobe Photoshop, you just drag the elements on top of each other just to position it manually. But this one, they did it in such a way that you can just click on it, select what you want without stressing yourself, and then it aligns it for you. So that's it for that menu. I think I covered everything in that menu. If you have questions, you can write on the chat then. But the next menu I'm going to show you is the menu on top. You know, we have this menu on top. The next menu is on top of the right top or top of the shape itself. That's this one you are seeing here. This menu you are seeing here. That's the another menu, but it's used for quick. It's like a quick menu. So this first one is comments. I told you guys what to comment. That's if you're working with a team, you can comment stuff to your teammates so that they will know what you're working on. This one beside it is lock position. Lock position is just like when you are working and you feel like you feel like you don't want this black, this shape to move again in this design. Let's say you are done with this black, you don't want it to move. You can go ahead to lock the position. Once you lock it, you cannot drag it again. If you want to unlock it, you can just click on it again. You see the padlock button, the padlock icon, you click on it again to unlock it. So that's if you don't want it to move again, you just lock it. That's what this lock is. The next one beside it is duplicate. That's to double it. If you just click duplicate, it doubles it. That's if you just want to use a keyboard, you can just use control D on your keyboard to duplicate. Let me type it, control D to duplicate. Control Z to undo. I know most of you guys know these things, but I'm just, for some people that don't know it. Then we have control R to redo. That's if you want to redo what you just deleted. We don't need control S because it saves automatic. Then the next thing beside it is the dustbin. Dustbin icon is just delete. Everybody knows this one. If you want to delete something, just click on dustbin icon, delete it. Now we have 3 dotted lines beside it. That's more. Now, if you click on the more, you see copy. You see copy style. You see paste. You see duplicate again, and then you see delete again. You see lock again. So most times they tend to repeat everything so that it's not going to be on mobile devices. You don't need to do Control Z or those. You just click on it. I'm just saying if you're using a laptop and you don't want to click on those buttons, and just use shortcuts. So if you click on more over here, we have those things again. We have layers. This layers is just that position I taught you guys. Bring to back, bring to front, send to back, send to front. So that's it for the layers also. So this menu is very, very important also. Besides this one, this particular menu is also important. So let me go ahead to clear my screen so that's so far so good. If you have questions, go ahead to ask questions. You can unmute yourself one after the other, ask questions if you have questions, or you can chat, you can write on the chat box so that I will know if everyone is following. Or if you don't have questions, you are following, just comment following on the chat box so we can continue. Go ahead to comment following on the chat box, or you ask your question. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm following. When we start designing properly, you guys can understand these tools better, because once you are designing, you'll be seeing everything. You'll be seeing everything we are doing. Now, before we end this class, I know this class you guys are going to be disappointed because you're not designing anything yet. But I just want to put you through the things you need first, so that once you start designing, it's going to be easy, very, very easy for you. February said, don't worry about it. Okay, so this platform, most people are not using paid accounts, so I'm going to teach you guys how to the shortcut Dominion. The shortcuts are the same for Microsoft Word. Most of these things here are also in Microsoft Word, so it's easy for you. Is the same thing. Most of the shortcuts, most of the elements also. So before we conclude with this class, we're going to do something though. We're going to design something at all. Maybe just pass something so you guys get an idea of what we are going to be working on. But first of all, I want to show you guys how to source out items. Now, if you want to, like I said before, if you want to get a picture for your design, you can just go to elements and search for pictures. That if you're using pictures for your design, But let's assume you don't see the picture you like. Now you have to go to Google. Let me show you where you can get. Let me show you where you can get pictures or mockups for what you're doing. Meso, so group work, you guys are going to use one account. You guys are going to log in into the same account. So if you guys are designing something, let's say you guys host a Zoom call, depending on what you guys are doing, you guys can host a meeting like this, a normal call. One person is going to be sharing their screen. You guys can work on the same whiteboard together. That's how group projects are done. You guys can work on the same thing together, regardless of the device you're using. So on Google, first of all, let me teach you how to source out images. First of all, we have pixels. It's called images are called stock. It's called stock images. So you can go ahead to search stock images, and they're going to show you different websites that gives free images without any copyright issues. So we have Shutterstock. I don't use these ones. We have yes, whiteboard. So we have Shutterstock. We have Pexels. I use Pexels because they have free. They always give free pictures and videos. We have iStock. Most of them give free pictures and videos, but some give more pictures and videos than others. While some charge for pictures and videos. So you can use Pexels. You can use Free Pick. This one, Free Pick. So if I open Pexels, for example, now they are going to show me their catalog. I can search for anything I want. If I search for something on Canva and I don't like the options they're giving me, I can just go to any of these platforms, search for stock images on Google. Then I will search for the particular image I'm looking for inside that website. Then I will download it. Once I download it, the next thing I'm going to do is, if the picture has background, like if I download the picture and it has background and I want to remove it, next thing I'm going to do again, I'll go to Google and search for remove background. Then once you search for remove BG, that's remove background. The first one you're going to see is remove BG, remove.bg. To use it is very, very simple. Once you click on the site, they're going to show you their menu just like this. You are going to click upload. You are just going to upload the picture you want to remove the background. Once you click upload, they will tell you to select the picture from your device. You select the picture you want to upload over here. Then once you select it, the system is going to remove that particular the image. You're going to remove everything in the image, leaving only. You're going to leave only. Let me just download the picture, then I will show you so you guys understand. They're going to remove everything, leaving only the main element you want. So let me download the picture of a lady so that I will show you how this thing works. So if you're using a free account is not going to be able to you cannot remove background directly on free accounts, Canva free accounts. So let me go ahead to select an image so you guys can understand what I'm explaining. Let me go. I just downloaded a picture. Let me just remove the image. Now, I downloaded a picture of a lady. Once I upload the picture, look at what is going to happen is it's going to scan through the picture, then it's going to remove the background. Are you seeing it? Did you guys see what just happened? You just removed the background of the picture. Yes, so now the picture had a background, but once it removes it, you just click on this download. you download. You need to, if you're designing a flyer, you need all the elements to be clean. That means the pictures you're using shouldn't have a background, so that everything will be up to you. The design is not going to look raw. You get, everything is going to be up to you. Hakim. Okay, let me redo it. Now I went to Google and I searched for this lady's picture. Are you seeing the picture? It has background, it has brown background. I downloaded the picture. Now let's assume I want to use this picture. Once I download the picture, I'll go back to this remove.bg's website, and then I will just upload the lady's picture over here. If I upload the lady's picture in this website works for mobile phone and for laptop, so it's not a problem. So once you go ahead to click upload image, they're going to ask you to upload the image. Now you go ahead to select the image of the lady. Once you select the image of the lady, automatically their platform is going to scan the picture, and then they will use AI just to remove the background. Once they remove the background, you just go ahead to save it over here. You save it for free. So once you save every image you want for your design, then you now go back to Canva, and then you upload them and start designing. Now, I taught you guys about hex code. If you search hex code on Google, you're going to have different websites that shows you hex code, color code. Now, if you go to any of those sites, as you can see this orange here, look at the hex code F54927. That's the color code. If you change any number here, this color is going to change. If you change any number here, the color is going to change. So the hex code is the number, the serial number for the colors. Each color in this word has a hex code. So if I want to design something that has let's say gold color, and I don't have any hex code in mind, I'm going to search for gold hex code. Now, if I search for gold hex code, now they're going to show me different hex code numbers for gold. I will go ahead to go to this site, color hex, this particular one, color-hex.com. Let me type it on the charts. Color-hex.com. You guys should just go ahead to write these things down. Then for background removing, let me type this one also, remove.bg. This one is for background removing. Edits. That's for this one. Then for stock images, we have pexels.com for that one. So now back to this thing. Once I search for gold color hex and I scroll down, they now start showing me different gold colors, and then the codes are going to be beside it. So I will just copy the code and then I'll paste it on Canva. Then they're going to show me the color is going to import. So you can just search for any color you want. You just get the hex code directly. So that's how you search for color hex code. Now for this course, we're going to go ahead to design something just for designing sake. Reason being that I just want to show you guys what you can do with this platform. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for Pepsi logo. So let me show you how fast you can work on something. Okay, we have Pepsi logo over here. So you guys know what Pepsi logo looks like. It looks like this. So to design this Pepsi logo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a circle. I'll search for circle on the element, I'll add a circle. Once I add a circle, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color the circle. I'm going to color the circle. Let's say I use red color. That's for the upside. The upside has red color. The downside has blue color. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a semicircle. Semicircle. Once I add a semicircle, this 2 over here, the one under is used for rotation. It's called rotate 2. I'll just rotate this one to. Now, if I'm rotating, they're showing me the angles on top. So angle 180 is perfect rotation. Angle 180. So I will just resize it to just fit into this thing like this. Once I'm done resizing it, I'm going to color this one blue, just like the logo, the blue color in the logo. So you have something like this. Let me show you the logo again so you understand what we are doing. So this is the logo. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add another circle, but this time around the circle is not going to have it's not going to have anything inside it. So I'm going to add another circle. This circle, I will change the color to, I will change the color of the circle. Let me use black. So that you see what I'm doing. So if I use black, I will remove the color. I will remove the color to colorless. I'll do colorless. Then I will now do stroke. The circle border. Then once I add the circle border, I will zoom it to. I just want to give it a border so that everything will be inside the inside this particular border. Now I will go ahead to move the circle just to cover these two. Now, if you are designing something, you are meant to be grouping them together. So if as I'm going, I will be grouping the elements together so that it won't be it won't shake. So I have the black border, the red circle, the blue semicircle. I will move this border to the back and then to the front so that I will know what's uncovering. I'm doing this thing so that you guys can understand what you can do with this platform. It's very, very simple to use so that from the next class, once we start designing properly, you guys can follow through. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to search for shape, another shape. But this time around, I'm going to click on see all so that I will search for the shape I need. And for this thing, I'm going to need this one, this particular one. But I think this one is going to work. This plus sign under this thing is used for moving around objects. Now, if you don't want to drag, stress yourself, you can use this thing to drag the plus sign under to drag whatever you want to drag. Now, in this shape, I'm going to add white color to the shape. Now, once I add the white color, let me just zoom it out. Then I move it. I move it like this. I rotate it a little bit so that I can write Pepsi inside it. Then once I'm done with that, I will send it to the back. I will just send it to the back once so that the border can cover it also. I'll click layer, send backward. now it's at the back of everything. I'll now start bringing it forward. Layers, bring forward. Then again, I'm going to bring forward again. Now, as you can see, it's inside the border, but it's not outside the border, but it's inside, but it's on top of the red and the black. So now, based on the Pepsi logo, the only thing remaining now is to add a strong text. That's add the heading. I'll add a heading to this, just like this, and then I'll write Pepsi. Now, I don't want the Pepsi to be together like this, so I'm going to shift it using the advanced tool. I'll space the letters a little bit. So this is how, now if I'm dragging this thing, are you seeing this plus sign? The lines that you are seeing on the screen means that the lines are going to teach you how to align your elements. So now this Pepsi, the write-up is is at the center of the circle. That's why it's showing that plus the two lines. Now, if you place it at the edge, you're going to see one line at the edge. That shows that it's at the edge. If I place it at the other edge, you see the line. So it's going to guide you on your placements. Do you understand? So if I place it at the center, it's going to show me this line. So we have, this is Pepsi logo. The one we just designed now is even better than the one on Google. Hope you guys understand what I'm saying.
We are together.
Yes, sir.
So now, once you're done with the designing, and you don't want, let's say you're designing something else. Maybe let's say you're designing a full flyer for Pepsi. You just design the logo. All you have to do is group them together. Grouping together, it simply means selecting everything. Let's say I'm using a laptop. Once I click on the first item, I'll hold Shift. Once you click on the first item, you hold Shift on your keyboard. You now tap on other items. Once you tap on other items, you're going to see group. They're going to show you group. You click on group to group them together. Or you just drag this thing from up here, highlight everything, just normal highlighting. It's going to select everything. Then you press Control G. Control G is grouping. Yes, Control G is group. You can decide to use, let me type it on the chat also. Control G to group. Now you can just use Control G to group, or you can just click on the group. So if you're using a mobile device, you can just select, highlight everything, and then you can just click on group. If you want to group them, you can also click on group. So it comes in handy. Let's say you are designing a flyer for a Pepsi advert. Then you are done with designing the logo. You just group them together. Then you zoom it out like this. Then you start designing other things inside the flyer. So anytime you are moving this thing, you're moving it together. It's not going to disturb what you're doing. So that's how you use grouping on mobile phone. If you are grouping on mobile phone, all you have to do is click on select. Once you click on the first item, like let's say you click on the Pepsi, you are going to see this menu, this more. You click on more. On the menu, you are going to see select multiple. You're going to, on mobile device, you're going to see select multiple. Once you click on the first item and click more, that's this menu here, it's going to show you the first thing you're going to see, I think, select multiple. You now click select multiple. Then now, once you click on select multiple, you will now go ahead to click other items. It's going to highlight all the items you are clicking. Then you now group it. You now see group and click group. So if you are designing something, for example, if you are designing something what you're going to do is once you're adding the elements, you are meant to be grouping as you go. So that means once I add the first circle and the second circle, I'll group the two together. Then the two is not together. Then I'll continue what I'm doing. I'll add another thing. Then I'll group the thing I added with the other ones I grouped together. Do you understand? So you just have to, as you go, once you're done with anything you are doing, you group it. Once you're done with anything you are doing, you group it. At the end of the you are not to have any option. Can you guys hear me? Can you
We
guys
can
hear me
hear
now?
you.
Okay. My network,
Yeah, we can hear you.
my network just disconnected and connected again. So like I was saying, I suggest you group as you go. That means if you are designing, you are meant to be grouping as you are going, because if you don't group as you go, it's going to be complicated. Imagine having multiple elements and it's going to be hard for you to group. Like for me now, I can group anything I want because I'm using a laptop and I'm using a mouse. So I can just highlight and group everything together. But the situation where you're using a mobile phone, I suggest you group as you go so that um you won't complicate things for yourself. Let me make this thing a little bit. So that's it for today's class. We have 10 minutes to go or so. But I want to take questions and I want to just, if you feel like you have something you want to ask for the future class or for this class, or any question you have about this program, you can go ahead to ask. Or if you have any opinion, or if you have questions about your grouping, that's the grouping you guys did on WhatsApp, go ahead to unmute yourself and then you ask your question so that we can tackle it. So go ahead. Is there anybody that has a question? I mean, nobody get question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear
Can
you.
you guys?
Okay, I have a question.
All right, go on.
You said something about we're going to get a task of like a group task where we're going to work on a particular design or something. I don't know if I really like heard you well, but I really wanted to be cleared on that. That's what I was asking. So you said we were going to work, not just an individual task. It's going to be like a group task where we're going to work collectively. I don't know if that's what I heard.
Lotachukwu, please, Mr. Lotachukwu, can you help her explain the question?
Okay.
Like explain
So
deeper.
for the group project, you have your individual. That will be towards the end of the entire stuff we are doing, right? Maybe towards the end of um the 1 month journey. So we have a group project. So we have in the group now I have five persons per group. So the group will come together to work on a specific project, maybe branding a particular business, just a group project. You still have your personal task and assignments. So after this class now, Mr. Hillary will give you people an assignment to do on individual basis. But then there will be a capstone project for yourself and then as a group, either to brand a business for those in the tech track and develop maybe a small app and the rest of them. So as you guys are currently in a group, start brainstorming of something that you guys can work on at the end of the 4 week journey, right? So using all the skills we've learned here. So aside just your own personal project, there should be a group project, more like a teamwork. We should be involved together to give that out. The basic reason behind it is that we can have business ideas. We can actually even you can have a startup just from there. Somebody can have a business idea. The teams come together. They should be branding. The tech part of things is there. So something can actually be bettered from there. There are numerous problems in Nigeria that we can solve just from that very group. I don't know if it makes sense now.
Yes, I understood better. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so the next question, can I use this format on Klaviyo too? I don't know about Klaviyo. I've not used the platform before. So, but most tools are similar. Some are more complex than others. Jidechukwu said, which app is best for this if you're using a phone? We're using Canva. We're using Canva app now. So, are we going to be? Mesoma said, are we going to be doing the group thing on Canva? Mesoma, I think the easier way for your group to carry out any project is just by brainstorming. So you guys can just launch Google Meet just like this one, and then you guys will use the link to join the meeting. One person is going to share his or her screen. Then all of you can just work on something together, like using collaborative mind to just Mesoma, are you hearing me? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, we
Yes, we
can.
can
Go
hear
ahead.
you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you're going to create a Google Meet. You guys can join the Google Meet. One person is going to, maybe someone has a laptop, is going to share the screen so that the screen is going to be wide enough. And then you guys can just discuss on what you are designing. If it's a full-blown company that you're going to present in, once this training is ongoing, you guys can be designing something small, say the end of the program. Then you guys can present it. That's the best way for you guys to do. So one person is going to create the meeting, the Google Meets, then others will join. One person is going to share the screen. And then using your various ideas, you guys can draft out something. Now the next question is, okay, Dominion said you said something about sending us a video. Okay, I'm going to make a screen record video for people that are using mobile device, just to show you these same menus again. All these menus you are seeing here, I'm going to show you where you can locate all of them on mobile device, so that I'm not going to leave anybody behind, like in this class. So if you're using an Android phone, I'm going to make a video. Just once I'm done with this class, I'm going to make a video and then I'll send it to the WhatsApp group. Then everybody can access the video. So all these menus you are seeing here, I'm going to show you the different menus so that once you are practicing in class, you can follow up. You not have issues with that. So do you guys have any more questions? Nora said, sir, please, did you use a laptop or Android for it? I'm using a laptop. But the layout, if you're using a tablet, a laptop, mobile device, a smartphone, is the same layout. But based on the fact that the mobile device has a smaller screen, they decided to compress the menu. So you are not going to be seeing everything like this. But all these things exist also in the mobile device. But it's not going to be, if using mobile devices for design too. Well, if I'm busy, or if I'm not home and I have a job to do, I use my phone to design it. So it's not complex once you understand the concept. So I designed this Pepsi logo within, it's not even it wasn't up to 5 minutes. We just designed this Pepsi logo just to show you how fast you can just I know some people feel like you cannot make advanced designs, but let me just show you something. I don't think there's any design you cannot make on Canva. I've been using it since I was in okay, so you guys can go ahead to type your name on the chat box so that the Tachu can take the attendance for people that follow the class through. The attendance is meant for the certification purpose. So if you're not very active, if you have someone in your group that's not active, just make sure the person in the class, so the person is not going to drag you guys back. when you guys will be working on something. Like I said before, look at this. You open this sheet. So you guys can understand what I mean by teamwork. Now, as you can see, the whiteboard, the importance of the whiteboard is that you can freestyle any design without disturbing yourself, especially when you're using a large screen. That means the Pepsi logo I did it here, and I'm still adding other things here. It's not going to disturb me. You understand? So let me zoom this in a little bit. Look at what it means to work with a team. You see, they arranged this in such a way that we have pictures of the workers, and then the sticky notes. Now, your team leader can just drop messages for each person on the sticky notes, so that once you log into work, you can just see what you're meant to do for the day. This is used for organizational structures, that's for companies or businesses. So most companies use this kind of platform for collaborative designing. So you have a team of designers, they just log in, and then everybody decides on what to do, and then they carry out the tasks, and then they can move the company forward. So that's how to use Canva for designing. It's not that complex once you are active in class. If you have any question at some point, you can just ask the question. Just raise your hand and ask the question. The class is not going to be complicated. There's nothing complicated about the platform. I just designed this logo so that you guys can understand the power of the platform. Because I'm not meant to design anything in this class, because this class is just introduction to Canva and also interface and tools. Nelson, do you have a question? You raise your hand.
Yes, I want to ask a question.
Okay, go on.
Okay, that if I want to check this, what is it called, the Pepsi stuff that you designed, I want to try it. So I brought out the circle first of all, and again I brought the semicircle and joined the thing together. But when I tried to put a border, that's using the string style. You understand? It's giving me a border separately for the what is it called, for the semicircle, and separate for the what is it called, the circle. I thought it would give me a border that would join the two together, since I've joined it together.
Okay, so I added a circle. After adding the circle and the semicircle, I added another circle. And once I added the circle, I now made the circle colorless. That's no color over here. Then I added a border to that particular circle, just like this. That's what I did. Then I moved this to cover everything. Do you understand? Just like this. That's what I did. I'd not give each of the circles, the former circles. So I just added another circle and used it to border to cover everything.
No
Hope you
problem.
understand.
Now I understand. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. So if there's any other question, then I can take it. If there are no other questions, you can go ahead to ask it, even though you are not. Some people want to be low-key, but just go ahead to ask it so that the next you won't have a problem. Well, from the next class, we are going to be designing different things, starting from the basics to the advanced. The Pepsi logo. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this Pepsi logo for the assignments. I'm going to leave it for the assignment, but first of all, let me do it again because we have a few minutes. Let me just keep the elements aside and we do it so that if you guys are doing it, you guys won't complain that it's difficult. But I know it's not going to be difficult. Now, first of all, I added a circle. This is going
Hello, so sorry, I think his network is down. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You'll be back
can you
short.
guys hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, you can go. You can proceed, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry for MTN. We're in Nigeria. Hope you guys can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so now the lines I showed you guys before, there's a line that always shows if you're aligning something. There's a line that shows when you're aligning something. So the line is going to guide you on, let's say this semicircle is big now, and you place it here. Once you are resizing it, you're going to see this line that shows that is now inside the, as in it's now the same size. Do you understand? So you're going to use that line to know when everything is aligned. Now, once I'm done adding this circle, this semicircle, like this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to group the two together. I'll group the two together so that I can move the two together like this. After that, the next thing I'm going to add is this shape. Make sure to bring the shape to the front. Just add the shape, then you add white color. Remember to rotate the shape a little bit so that the Pepsi can go in here. Now, once you write the Pepsi, before you write the Pepsi, go ahead to group this one and the new shape you added. Now, I can move the three together like this. You understand one? So you group as you go. So now, once I'm done with grouping the three shapes, I will now write the Pepsi and make sure this the line shows. The line is going to show you that is at the center of the page. Now it doesn't have any border. What I'm going to do is, if you group them together, see the beauty of grouping. If you group them together, it's going to be difficult for you to you cannot add border to the separate shapes because it's a semicircle and a circle. Now, because it has double colors, now you can go ahead to now add another circle. Now you're adding the circle just for the sake of the border. You want it to have the border so that what you're going to do is increase the size of the circle, go to the color of the circle, make it colorless. Then you go to the stroke style, which is the border style. You add a border to it. Make sure to increase the size, the stroke weight over here, so that it's going to be pronounced, it's going to be displaying very well. After that, you can now place it. Remember, if you are zooming out, the line is going to direct you when you are, it's going to show you if it's aligned. So you're going to make sure everything is aligned. Then you can now go ahead to group all of them together. Let me increase the border so you guys can see very well. If you have an account before, Nora, just go ahead to log in. You don't have any problem with that. You just go ahead to log into the account. So for the assignment, you guys are going to just try and replicate this. I know some people are going to have difficulty, but this is actually a simple logo to do. So if you have difficulties, the next class I'm going to start by, we normally start classes by correcting assignments. So we use like 10 minutes or less to correct assignments. Then before we now start teaching the topics. So if you're coming for the next class, make sure you have done this design. What is the difference? Someone with an account. You must have an account before you can design, because all these things are saving automatically. If you don't have an account, you cannot design. You cannot even design without having an account, because you are going to need an account for it to save. Because as you are designing, everything is saving automatically, as you can see here. All changes save. So once you are designing, it's saving. So even if I refresh this page, or even if I quit this page and come back, it's going to show. Now, once you guys are done with this design, you guys can go ahead to, once you are done with the design, if you head over to the home page, you are going to see the design on the home page under projects. That's where this menu comes in handy. So you're going to see all your designs under the projects. Even if you log out from your phone or anything, once you come back, go to your projects, you are going to see all the designs you have done so far. So you don't have any problems with saving the project, whether your network is faulty or not. Once you come back, you're going to see the design from where you stopped. That's how Canva works. So since you guys don't have any other question, I think we should call it a day. You guys have um tech classes tomorrow by 8 p.m. So people that are enrolled in tech classes, if you want to take the two classes, you can also join the tech class, because the program, you can decide to do the two classes. So if you have any other question, go ahead to ask before we end the class. If you don't have any other question, then we can simply call it a day. So Lotachiku, I don't know if you have something to say
Okay.
before we end the class.
All right, bro. Now, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Yeah, as always, he has said it. Tomorrow is for Tech Track, so 8 p.m. Then he said he's going to send out of, how do you call it, using the mobile phone so that they can see the interface as well. So always keep your eyes on the WhatsApp group. Then for your groups, I've spoken to the leaders. Just try and comply with them. I spoke with each and every one of them this evening. So just be active on the group chat. Every morning, there will be something for you every evening, and please comply with them. People volunteering to serve you. They were not paying them. They are just students like you, but they want to actually help to ensure that we leave no man behind. So the hint there remains to leave no man behind. And that's what the leaders will help us to achieve. Please comply with them. Any message they send across to the group chat, any communication henceforth will be coming through them. I will just send to them, and then they will message you. So they'll be my eye to get across to every one of us. So I wish you all a wonderful night rest for people that sleep at night. Ayana Makata, thank you so much. So I will see us tomorrow, please.
All right, then I will see you guys on Wednesday. That's day after tomorrow. Do have a great day. Then, if you enjoy the class, give a thumbs up before you quit, or comment on the chat box, so that's all right. Thank you all for attending the class. Good night.
All right, thank you, boss. I didn't check whether another person dropped their name for the list. Did anybody again?
Drop what?
Okay.